Yeah. Yeah, well, everybody, what's going on? What's going on?
Desk in the bed.
Give us a few seconds here. We getting set up. Just gotta get these things going. Shout out to Instagram. We Instagram live on this episode. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody give yourself a round warm of applause. Yes, 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 yes. I am your host. This is Cast Ty. We are DaRealReel. We are real people having real conversations about real things. Again, give yourself another warm round of applause. Give it up, 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 give it up. You all are so kind. Give it up for yourselves. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in again to another DaRealReel podcast. As I said, we are real people having real conversations about real things. I am your host, Cast Ty. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night to wherever you are in the world, in the T-Dot streets and the Middle East. All over the world, we salute you. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on any of our platforms, you want to visit any of our platforms, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Twitter. The name is DaRealReel _SCE. That is at DaRealReel _SCE. If you want to hit us up by email, if you got any comments, questions, concerns, even critiques, we take it all. We're not afraid of the smoke. Give it to us. Can hit us up at our email, which is DaRealReel.sce@gmail.com. Again, that is DaRealReel.sce@gmail.com. Again, give it up for yourselves. Yes, yes. So, today's thought, we're going to run through this really kind of quickly. I won't get into too many nuances. Episode 4 was a very extended and a very extensive episode. And thank you for everybody that tuned in on the different platforms that we are on in terms of podcasting. We're on Spotify. We're on Samsung Podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts. And if you can't find us there, really and truly, here's what you do. Go to Google search, type in the name DaRealReel, right? And it'll come up. Now, there's going to be 2 accounts that'll come up. One is not ours at all. You can see a little bit of dots and some fairies in the background. There's a bunch of kids talking a bunch of foolishness they haven't posted since 2020. That is not us. If you see the black and gold, when you see that black and gold when you see the black and gold, hit us up. Follow us, like, share, subscribe. It helps. It goes a long way. We're not asking for money. We're not asking for your blood. We're not asking for your liver. Just like, follow, subscribe, and comment if these episodes. And right now, like I said, we're in bonus content mode because we still haven't hit the stride where we're ready for a full platform launch. So until that time comes, which will probably be later on this year, we really are gunning for the beginning of 2024 to start working off of our YouTube pages. But until that time comes, we are going to keep it simple and straight and keep the main thing the main thing. So as I've been thinking, it's Black History, and really and truly, I've been wondering, what is going to be the next step for us as a people. I think we've proven that we're resilient. I think we've proven that we are talented. I think we have proven that the depths of our intellect is not to be challenged without understanding that we will, I don't want to say clap back, but we will respond. As such, there's one thing that continues to plague the Black community. I myself, being an African Canadian or Black Canadian with a Jamaican background, I have seen this from, the day of my birth up until now. And it is the simple fact that we just cannot come together. For some reason, we have our Black women fighting against Black women, fighting against Black men, not trusting Black men. And if you didn't understand what I just said, we have each gender within the Black community, Black women and Black men. We have Black women fighting Black women. We have Black men fighting Black men. And then we interchangeably, or in cross sections, we have each gender not trusting each other. We get stuck on topics of what is your body count? Like anybody really cares at the end of the day. I'd rather know what's your credit score. We get stuck on topics like your bonnet, body shaming, and we're so consumed with so much superficial ideals and narratives that it seems like we cannot get out of our own way to be able to make a positive and a cohesive joint effort to come together and, dare I say, get back the quote unquote Black Wall Street. Is it impossible? No. But is it probable? Up until this point, that remains to be seen. I would have to say that the answer also is no. And that troubles me because as a young Black man, I find myself at the height of, I wouldn't say the height or the precipice of my intellectual capabilities and the extent of my charisma and influence. I think I haven't even tapped into the fullness of that yet. But what I will say is this, is that we need to get to a place very quickly. And when I say very quickly, in my opinion, I'm saying within the next year or two, Black people need to sit back and pump our brakes for a minute. And we need to do a systematic dive into how do we want to be seen, or what are we going to do? I think we've answered how we want to be seen. And unfortunately, too many of us want to be followers. We want to be followers of great leaders in different arenas. We want to be followers or seen in the same light as people in the political arena, religious arena, celebrity, and sports luminaries. That atmosphere. We want the fame and we want the platforms to speak. But it seems like the responsibility or the reality of being in those platforms, we still have not understood that those platforms in their inception are not geared towards a positive Black message without major advertising and marketing. You can say that my viewpoint on this may be skewed, but I will say that the message that needs to go out to Black people, for Black people, from Black people cannot be spread on multiple platforms that we don't own. And some people would say, well, that's not true because you have content creators on YouTube. You have them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, right? Here's the thing. The message of we need to come together, it's good in theory because overall, it shows that there's many people in different sides of the world that are Black, that we do care about the fact that I think we've been able to realize that we can be celebrities. We can have sports luminaries. We can have historians. We can have the brightest of the brightest, but we can also have the bottom of the barrel. And I think that is common knowledge for all races. Every race has a sector of people or a group of people that are just at the bottom of the bucket. But when it comes to Black people, we're always waiting, or it seems like We're always waiting for a Messiah. We're always waiting for a grand figure to come and save us, not from spiritual damnation or eternal soul damnation, but from the worries of this life. We want to remain on earth. We want to live in society, but we don't want to deal with the idiosyncrasies that come along with it. And what I'm saying is we need to get to a place we have enough money as black people that we spend year upon year. It has been documented and well documented that black people as a community, as a race of people on this earth, have around to the tune of $3 trillion worth of buying power. Now, if we have that buying power, what is stopping us from coming together and get back into the mode of building banks and building our own grocery stores and having our own convenience stores, having our own gas stations, having our own Starbucks franchise? I don't mind, kind of buying into something that may not be mine, as long as there's a part of it that I can cut out for myself and for my family and for my kids and, the generation to come after. I want to be able to have somebody call me and say, hey, Conrad, Cass, I need a job. Hey, I want to be able to reach out to my boys and say, hey, you got older folks that, they're retired, but they're looking for something to do and they would love to make some money. Yeah, tell them I'm going to, they can come and, work at this gas station, work at this place, work at this place. Oh, what do they got to do to go through the hiring process? Nothing, because I own it. All we got to do is make sure that their papers are legal and straight. Make sure they're done, everything, sign the tax forms, and let's get it moving. But we seem to be stuck in this crab in the bucket mentality, and we seem to like it there. And in that, I don't even know. I do have a problem with it because I know myself. I don't ever want to be the proverbial crab in the bucket. I'm trying to get ahead, but because I can't get ahead the way I want to get ahead, or I'm going to pull you down. I'm kind of different in that. And I think most people are, where they're like, they really don't want to stop anybody from getting ahead. It's like, hey, if you can get ahead, do what you got to do. And if I can get ahead, I'm going to do what I got to do. But at the same time, it seems like we're stuck in a mental vice. And that mental vice is still comparing ourselves to other races. What is this race doing? What are white women doing? What are these women doing? That women doing? In this day and time, especially on a relationship narrative, if you go on social media, your TikToks, your Facebooks, your Instagram, your YouTube, there's a big group of content creators where we're having this discussion about talking to our black women and black women talking to black men about how we respect each other, or the lack of respect, the lack of love, the lack of reverence that there is. Well, here's the thing. That is going to continue until we as a black people get to a place. And I would say get back to a place, but I don't think we've ever really and truly been there. We need to get to a place where we see, and I said this earlier on a post on Facebook, where we see that there is a direct correlation between having a godly respect for life and a value for life, so that we extend that to the sister we quote unquote don't know, the brother we quote unquote don't know. I've always been raised, and I grew up with the notion that if I respect myself, if I love myself, and I love who I am, especially as a black man, I am to extend that to another black man, to another black woman. Now, is it hard sometimes? Yes. Does it come with the proverbial, people biting the hand that is feeding them or helping them? 100%. And to those people, I say, you are under a DNR situation. You're under a do not resuscitate situation, where if you're going to consistently bite the hand that feeds you, being a black person, you're going to bite the black hand that feeds you. Well, then guess what? We don't need to resuscitate you. If you live, great. But if you die, we're not going to be that upset. And that may be harsh to hear, and it might be harsh for me to say, but here's the thing. We cannot afford to have anybody else while we're trying to build a kingdom, while we're trying to build a movement. We can't have anybody else opening the proverbial back door because one person's hut is bigger than the next person's hut. At the end of the day, everybody's got to realize, hey, we're all in huts. You could dress it up with tin foil and put some glitter on it all you want. But at the end of the day, it is not cool for us to be where we are, struggling to get ahead as a group of people, but yet still we're fighting each other. Yeah. I mean, like it just doesn't make any sense. The definition of an insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And so with that said, I really want to press upon our people that in this Black History Month, especially for you who are going to take speaking engagements, Black people are more than weaves and do-rags and low riding pants and our image. Right now, we need a mentality, right? A reset, really and truly. That's what we're really and truly dealing with. And because we are dealing with that, I've got something, and I'm gonna share. It's a 2-minute clip. I'm gonna share it to you. It's coming from Men's Viewpoint, brother Ben X. And he shares, in my opinion, what I would call a very poignant thought. And he's talking really and truly to us about, the mentality, pretty much echoing what I've been saying and how I've been feeling for years regarding Black History Month and how Black people address Black History Month. But I'm gonna bring him in so he can talk about it, and then we're going to go from there.
Everybody bring $5. Can we be honest real quick? Move forward. It's just me. I'm just giving my opinion first, and then we're going to move forward. But to me, there's a reason why it's hard for us to come together and everybody bring $1. Everybody bring $5. Can we be honest real quick? And say that we got trust issues? Can we be honest real quick and let's just keep it 100? That means somebody got to manage that money. Have 1 million people managing $1 each. They got to be responsible for managing it. Something like that happens, we're going to have thousands of Black people on YouTube talking about, I don't know what them niggas probably going to do something with the money. Them niggas scamming y'all. That the issue for the reason why we can't even bring $1 each or $5 each starts with the mind, starts with something mental and spiritual. The reason is not that we're poor. When you collectively take all of our money and put it together, there are statistics that say it's over $1 trillion. So it's not that we're lacking necessarily as a people. What we're lacking is a mental and a spiritual resurrection that will allow us to come together in unity beyond our division. Can we keep it? Come on, if we want to go there, sister, let's go to 2015, the Justice or Else Million Man March. While the minister's speaking, we got people in the back not even listening to him. They got their cameras out trying to get their own YouTube content and outshine the minister. Can we keep it real and remember, and we can go type on YouTube right now as the minister speaking. You got other religions. I ain't going to call them out because this ain't what this about. Other religions, they're talking about, you need to follow this and you need to. Come on, man. We can't even come together. We can't even get over that. We got different religions. We can't even come together and realize, you may say Allah, I may say Most High, you may say God, we may say Jehovah, but we need to come together on common ground. We can't even get over that. So to believe that we're going to trust somebody with $1 million, somebody going to say, well, now he Muslim. I don't know what he going to do with it. Well, now they Christians. I don't know what they going to do with the money. It's so many barriers that we have to break that will make that much easier. See, everybody being on the same page, being able to bring $1 because we all got one.
At it, and just for those who didn't hear that last part, that was brother Ben X from Men's Viewpoint, and I agree with the sentiments and the thoughts that he was sharing. And the reason why I agree is because it's, again, he just very quickly points out or touches on a couple things that seem to be holding us back, that really in the grand scheme and the grand idea of moving forward, are they really that important? The aspect of you having a different religion, you wanting to present yourself in public a different way, like, we'll address those when the time is right. I think you can address those when you actually have something built, when you actually have a program or a system or a conglomerate or the people themselves moving forward. But we are stuck because we are trying to classify who's really black from who's not black, and who's black on the outside but white on the inside. We call them Oreos. We still have our women referring to themselves, and I'm just going to say it with no filter, we still have our women calling themselves bad bitches. We still have our men calling each other niggas. Last time I checked, I was born in the modern generation, 1984. I've never been a slave. I don't want to be a slave. And for that which I have to slave over already, I don't even want to do that in a modern society. So what I'm proposing to black people this Black History Month of 2023, we need to get it together.
Come on, son.
We need to drop off the foolishness.
Me say what me say. The man a waste, man. Appear idleness in free.
And we need to get moving on something that when we look back in history, we can say, yeah, we struggled to get over the trauma of what we suffered for 400, maybe another, maybe 500, 600 years when you really play it out on how it's gone. We do need to get past that. But if we all don't share the same mentality that we all need to chip in and put our hands into the pot and put our hands to some shovels and put our hands to some brick and some mortar and all work together to build this up, then we're never going to go anywhere. I'll end today's episode by saying this. We need a mental reset. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, as I'm closing this down, I'm thinking about my son, I'm thinking about my daughters, I'm thinking about my wife, I'm thinking about my cousins, I'm thinking about my nieces and my nephews, I'm thinking about my godchildren. And what we're trying to build over here on DaRealReel is not something that can just feed Cass Ty and his family. We're trying to feed my family. We're trying to feed your family. And if there's somebody on the other side of the world and peradventure we get to the place where we've built up a platform and a business strong enough that we can help you, and you can say, hey, I need X, and we can say, hey, well, not here's not just X, but here's X, Y, and Z, then I would love to see that day come. And for what we're building in DaRealReel, it is coming. But I don't want to see just DaRealReel building it up. So I'll end today's episode by saying this. We salute Men's Viewpoint. They're on Instagram. They're on YouTube. They're on Facebook. Check them out. Men's Viewpoint. You cannot go wrong. And every black man needs to run over there. If you're in the States, if you're in, I don't care where you are in the world. Canada, States, West Indies, South America, Africa, London, Australia, China, wherever you are, tap in. Let's all build together. Support their platform because they do a lot for us. There's going to be another episode where we're going to be literally just shouting out and plugging. We're probably going to go on Facebook Live as well, where we will post and be shouting out all of the platforms, especially in 2023, all of the black owned platforms that have directly or indirectly inspired the birth of DaRealReel. I think that is very important to not. I don't have enough time to pay homage to everybody who created a light bulb or created the stop sign or created the telephone, or how we have history books for that. But what we don't have history books for in this current day is the appreciation of black people for black people, whether we know them personally or not. So with that said, we love you all. Continue to support. If you really want to feed us your comments, questions, critiques, aside from commenting and questioning on the platforms, like, follow, subscribe, send us an email. Again, it's DaRealReel.sce@gmail.com. That's DaRealReel.sce@gmail.com. Peace in the T-Dot streets and all over the world. We love you. Blessings to everybody. Have a good night, day, morning, wherever you are. Blessings and peace to you.
Desk in the bed.